Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you people are doing good in your home and utilizing your proper time. Students, we were started your chapter number 2 of geography, that is physical features of India. In that we have talked about the details of a mountain, Himalaya. In that only now we will continue the topics which were there. Here we have divided the Himalaya into the three parts, that is the greater Himalaya, lesser Himalayas and outer Himalayas. Okay, so we have talked about this all things. Let's just see the further video for it. Okay.
Greater Himalayas are the northernmost range of mountains. These include the world's highest mountain ranges. Several peaks here are more than 8,000 meters high. The Greater Himalayas are also known as Himadri since they are perpetually covered in snow.
So basically students, the Himalayas are divided into three parts. So the greater Himalayas are also known as Himadri since they are perpetually covered in snow, and the greater Himalayas are the highest mountains range we are having in our country. Okay.
Some of the highest peaks in this range include Kanchenjunga, Lhotse, Makalu, Cho-Oyu, Dhaulagiri, Manaslu, Nanda Parbat and Annapurna.
Okay students, so these are the names, okay, which were the part of greater Himalayas. Okay, in the different places, this different mountains are there. I guess at least Kanchenjunga is knownable to you, rest all are there only.
Mount Everest in Nepal is of course the highest peak in the world.
Yes, and the highest one is who? The Mount Everest in Nepal is the highest peak of Himalaya. Okay.
The range also has a number of mountain passes that served as trade routes for silk and spices in the past and are of great military importance even now. The Greater Himalayas are also home to glaciers like Gangotri and Yamunotri that feed the Ganga and Yamuna rivers of India.
Okay, so apart from the different names, now it is saying that the greater Himalayas also cover the glaciers like Yamunotri and Gangotri, and the rivers also start origin from there only, the rivers like Ganga and Yamuna. Okay.
The range south of the Greater Himalayas is called the Himachal or the Lesser Himalayas. This range has mountains that are lesser in height than the Greater Himalayas.
Okay, so the now next layer is what? That is the Lesser Himalayas. Okay, the range of Lesser Himalayas is less than the Greater Himalayas. Okay.
The average height of the mountains here is about 4,500 meters. The Lesser Himalayas include the Pir Panchal range in Kashmir, the Dhauladhar range in Himachal Pradesh, and the Mahabharat range in Nepal. Most of the hill stations of India like Nainital, Mussoorie, Shimla and the valley of Srinagar are located on the southern slopes of these ranges.
Okay, so this Lesser Himalayas part are also called as what? Himachal, and the places like Srinagar, Shimla, Mussoorie and Nainital, they all are the part of this second part of the Himalayas, that is the Lesser Himalayas. Okay, let's just see the further more details.
The southernmost range of the Himalayas is called the Outer Himalayas or the Shivaliks. This range is not continuous dunes. Dehradun is located in one such valley. On the foothills of the Shivaliks lie the porous gravel-ridden plains known as Bhabhar. Further south of this is the fertile alluvial region of the Terai, found mostly towards the eastern Himalayas.
Okay, so you have got the concept of Doon, okay, why Dehradun is called as Doon, okay. So likewise, you have to understand these three parts of Himalayas, okay. If you have any confusion, you can ask, okay. And do read your book also. Now let's just see the next video, as we have already learned the three parts, or the Himalaya is divided into three layers, that is the greater Himalayas, lesser Himalayas and the outer Himalayas. Okay, let's just see the next video now. Now we will discuss about the regional divisions of the Himalayas, okay, or the division of the Himalayan range.
The Himalayan mountain range run in a west-east direction from the Indus River Valley to the Brahmaputra River Valley. Longitudinally, the Himalayas are divided into three distinct ranges that run parallel to each other. These are the Greater Himalayas or the Inner Himalayas, the middle range called the Lesser Himalayas, and the outermost range called the Outer Himalayas.
Yes, so this much we have already discussed, that the Himalayas here is a direction with the west to east, and it is divided into three parts, okay, that is Greater Himalayas or Inner Himalayas, then the lesser Himalayas and the Outer Himalayas, okay. So likewise, this much is clear, okay. Now let's see the next thing.
However, there is a regional division of the Himalayas too. This west to east latitudinal divisions are based on the rivers flowing in the Himalayan region. The region that lies between the Indus River and its tributary, the Satluj, is known as the Punjab Himalaya. This is a 560-kilometer stretch.
Now see students, what we are discussing the regional divisions of Himalaya. That means what, that how the Himalaya is divided into different regions. Why the different regions? Because we are having a different states, and the Himalaya is spread over to the many parts of our country. Okay, so which part of that particular region and the Himalaya situated to that region is called what? So if it is saying about this part from where the beginning is there, so it is the Punjab Himalayas, where the height is what? 560 kilometers.
A large portion of Punjab Himalayas is in Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. Hence,
Okay.
it is also known as the Kashmir Himalaya and the Himachal Himalaya in the respective regions.
Okay, so this Punjab Himalayas is covering the Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh, so that is why it is also called as Kashmir Himalaya and the Himachal Himalaya.
The general elevation of the mountain ranges in this region is westwards. Karakoram, Ladakh, Pir Panjal, Zaskar and Dhauladhar are the major ranges in this section. The next regional demarcation is the region between the Satluj River and the Kali River. It covers a distance of about 320 kilometers. The part of the Himalayas that lie between these two regions is known as the Kumaon Himalayas, and it lies primarily in the state of Uttarakhand. Some of the important peaks in this region are Nanda Devi, Chaukhamba, Kamet, Trishul and Panchachuli. The region between between the Kali and Tista rivers form the next regional demarcation. This 800-kilometer stretch is known as the Nepal Himalaya. It gets this name as most of the division lies in Nepal.
Students, you have to note it down all the different divisions of Himalaya, okay? And you know, from this one chapters, the location of rivers or you know the different kind of mountains, that kind of map work can come in the exam, okay? So you have to note it down this one very carefully.
The Great Himalaya Range attains maximum height in this portion. Some of the world-famous peaks such as Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Makalu, Annapurna and Dhaulagiri are located here. The easternmost demarcation lies between the Tista and Dihang rivers and is known as Assam Himalayas. It covers a distance of about 750 kilometers. The Brahmaputra marks the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas. Beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and run in more or less north-south direction along India's eastern border with Myanmar. These ranges are collectively known as the Purvachal. The important hills of the region are Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, Manipur Hills and the Mizo Hills. These hills are mostly composed of strong sandstone which are sedimentary rocks. The region is covered with dense forests. Like Purvachal, some other regional names of the Himalayas are Gauri Shankar Himal, Rolwaling Himal, Kanjirova Himal, Sagar Math Himal, Annapurna Himal, Ganesh Himal, Langtang Himal, Manaslu Himal, Khumbu Himal, etc.
So students, you have learned the different regional divisions of Himalaya, and these are the names of the regional names, okay, of Himachal or Himalaya. Okay, Himachal is not the right word, okay, because Himachal is also one of the region only, okay. So here what it is that regional names of Himalayas are this much, and there are etc. also. So these are like the common. So if you will, if anything come in the exam, so don't get confused about it, okay. So likewise you have learned the different divisions of Himalaya according to the different region, that is the different states, okay, and the height and all, you have learned that, okay. So you just need to note it down that all, okay.
The regional divisions of the Himalayas is based on select the correct option and click submit.
Yes students, so now the question is there as you have learned the video. So it is the regional division of the Himalaya is based on what? So let's just find the answer. It is
The regional divisions of the Himalayas is based on the rivers flowing in the Himalayan region.
Yes, so see, the questions can come like this in your exam, so you better just note it down this also, okay, like what all questions can be generated from the particular topics. So if the question is asking the regional division of the Himalaya is based on dash, so the answer will be rivers flowing in the Himalayan region.
By what regional name are Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, Manipur Hills and the Mizo Hills known? Select the correct option and click submit.
Yes.
The regional name for Patkai, Naga, Manipur and Mizo Hills is Purvachal.
Yes, so the question can also be asked like the Purvanchal, this place is also known as of which or regional name. So the questions can be twisted to any form. So you have to remember that the Patkai Hills, Naga Hills, Manipur Hills and the Mizo Hills are also known as which regional name? So that is the Purvanchal. Okay, so any other word can be interchanged in such kind of questions. So you have to prepare it like that.
Let us summarize the main points learnt in this session.
So likewise you have to note it down. Okay, what we have learned in this video is the different divisions. Okay, the regional divisions of the Himalaya. So just it is here, you can see from this. Okay, just pause your video and just note it down this all in your notebook. Okay, so what is that? Regional division of the Himalayas were divided into four regions. Okay, that four categories. The first one is what? It is the Punjab Himalaya. Okay, in that what you people will write? The first point is that it lies between the Indus and Satluj river. Okay, it is a 560 kilometer stretch, that is the wide. Okay, then the portion of Punjab Himalayas that lie in Jammu and Kashmir are known as Kashmir Himalaya. Then portion that lie in Himachal Pradesh are known as Himachal Himalaya. Major ranges Karakoram, Ladakh, Pir Panjal, Jaskar and Dhaulaghat. So this is a proper points of Punjab Himalayas, so you have to write it like that. The second part is what? Kumaon Himalayas. Okay, it is saying that it lies between the Satluj and Kali river. So you have to remember the rivers ranges also. Okay, it's not only about the states but also very important because the divisions is based on the different rivers flowing to the different regions. Okay. Now it is saying that in Kumaon Himalayas it covers a distance about 320 kilometers. Third one is it lies primarily in the state of Uttarakhand. Fourth one it is saying it is the important peaks in this regions are Nanda Devi, Chakhumba, Kamet, Trishul, Panchkuli. Now the third part is what? It is Nepal Himalaya. Okay, it lies between the Kali and Tista rivers. It stretched for about 800 kilometers. Most of this division lies in Nepal. The famous peak in the region are Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Makalu, Annapurna and Dhaulagiri. Okay, now the last part it is saying here that it is all about Assam Himalayas that lies between the Tista and the Dhiang rivers. It covers a distance of about 750 kilometers. It is beyond the Dhiang Gorge. It bends sharp to the south and runs north-south direction along India's eastern border with Myanmar, collectively known as the Purvanchal, and the important hills of the region is Patkai Naga, Manipur, Mizo Hills. Okay, so this is the proper points which is like mentioned here. Okay, so this topic is covered. See students, don't get panic about this all things. Okay, like if you are not understanding in geography this year, you just have to learn all the concepts. Okay, this time you don't have to understand a lot, but you have to learn a lot because there are some details of our India's physical features. So उसमें हम समझेंगे क्या, उसको तो हमें याद ही करना पड़ेगा ना कि इसका रेंज क्या है, इसकी कौन कौन से रेंजेस को कवर करता है. तो आप लोगों को ये सारी चीज़ें इस बार याद करनी है. फाइन. So in geography basically students, this time you need to learn more. Okay. And for economics and political science it is like easy one topics. Okay, you can just whatever you are learning you can implicate in the real world, and in that way the concepts will be clear. Okay, and if still you will have any confusion you can ask to me. Okay, now just let's see the next thing. Yes, now there are two questions from this, so let's just solve that also. The first one, it is saying the Himalayas are significant because there are 4 points. It is saying it is unstable and experiences frequent earthquakes. Second, the fertile soil has helped the development of agriculture. Third, it serves as a natural boundary between India and her neighboring countries like China. Or 4. The rivers originating in the mountains provide cheap water transport. So what will be the answer? So it is the Himalayas are significant because it serves as a natural boundary between India and her neighbor countries like China, and it provides a security or also a barrier to the enemies. Okay, now it is saying the world highest peak is present in what? Himachal, Bruns, Himalaya or Shivalik. So you people have already learned. It is the Himadri, which is the part of Greater Himalaya. Okay, so that is why this will be the answer. Now let's switch to the next topic, that is the Northern Plain. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the next topic of this, that is the Northern Plains. Let's see this.
The great northern plains of India are located between the Himalayas in the north and the Deccan Plateau of peninsular India in the south. The great northern plains of India, also known as the Indo-Gangetic Plains, are formed by the sediments brought down by three important rivers, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. The plains span from the Indus River in the west to the Garo and Mizo hills in the east and have an extent of about 2,500 kilometers. The widest stretch is at the confluence of Ganga and Yamuna rivers near Allahabad, where the plains are 280 kilometers wide. The northern plains can be classified into the Punjab plains, the Rajasthan plains, the Ganga plains and the Brahmaputra plains. Let's learn about each of these plains.
So in this video we are going to learn about the different plains, and you have learned the details how it is like divided. So there are the different plains. Plains are those areas which are not having the hilly regions. Okay, so that are the Punjab plains, Rajasthan plains, Ganga plains and the Brahmaputra plains. Let's see the further details.
The plains in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent are called the Punjab plains. The Punjab plains are mainly located in the Indus basin. The Indus basin is drained by the Indus River and its five tributaries: Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj and Beas.
Yes students, so first of all we are discussing about the Punjab plains. Okay, and Punjab plains यहाँ पे हम जो भी सारी चीजें लर्न कर रहे हैं उसे हम रिवर्स के साथ इंक्लूड कर रहे हैं. तो यहाँ हम क्या पढ़ रहे हैं कि that Indus river is going from this plain and there are 5 tributaries which is getting divided from the river Indus. So which all rivers are there? So that is the river Ravi, river Jhelum, river Chenab, river Beas and river Satluj. So if the question asks that what are the 5 tributaries from the river Indus, so these 5 names you people will mention. Okay.
The Thar Desert and the Aravalli mountain range separate the Punjab plains from the Ganga basin. Most of the Punjab plains lie in Pakistan. In India, the plains lie in the states of Punjab, Haryana and Himachal Pradesh.
Okay, so this Punjab plains, the maximum part of this Punjab plains are there with the Pakistan, but which all areas are there in the Punjab plains with our country? So that is the Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and Haryana's. These three states used to cover the regions of Punjab plains. Okay, and this Aravalli range and the Ganga basin is like a boundary to it. Okay.
The Rajasthan plains comprise the Thar Desert of Rajasthan. These plains are surrounded by river Satluj in the northwest, the Aravalli range in the east, the Indus Valley in the west, and the Rann of Kutch in the south. The plains stretch across both India and Pakistan. Luni is the only significant river in these plains. Smaller, rain-fed rivers originate from the Aravallis during the monsoons, but they usually don't have enough water to reach the sea, so they disappear into the sand of the desert.
Yes, so we have discussed about the Rajasthan plains, in which we have learned that only the river Luni is helpful, okay, for the people, okay. So this river Luni you need to remember, because the visited questions used to come from this topic, okay.
To the east of the Aravallis, mainly in the states of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, lie the Ganga plains. The Ganga plains are formed by the sediments of river Ganga and its right bank tributaries, namely the Yamuna, Chambal, Betwa and Son.
Yes, so the Ganga plains covers the state of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, and here the river Ganga is having a very main role. And what are the tributaries to the river Ganga? So that is the river Yamuna, Chambal river, Betwa river and the Son river, okay.
Its left bank tributaries are Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak and Kosi.
So these are like there are different tributaries to the Ganga, of course. So there are, this one was the right one, and now there is a left tributaries to Ganga, that is the river Ghagra, river Gomti, river Gandak and river Kosi, okay.
The river originates from two head streams in the Gangotri glacier. The two head streams are called the Alaknanda and the Bhagirathi.
Okay, so we are not talking about the origin, okay, that Ganga used to come, the origin is there from the Gangotri glacier, okay. So there are the two more rivers which are like the tributary which got attached, so that is the Bhagirathi river and the Alaknanda.
They join at Devprayag. From here, the river is known as the Ganga river.
Okay, so basically from the Gangotri glaciers there are two rivers, that is the Bhagirathi river and the Alaknanda river, which were there, and they both river get joined in Devprayag, and from there when the river like goes flow ahead, so that is only the beginning of this Ganga river starts, okay.
This part of the plain is called the Upper Ganga Plain. It lies largely in the western part of Uttar Pradesh. It is the best developed area of the plains for agriculture. The river Ganga and its tributaries Yamuna, Chambal, Betwa, Gomti and Ghagra flow through this region. The middle Ganga plain comprises the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh and the northern part of Bihar. This region tends to get flooded due to heavy rainfall, but is well suited for agriculture. It is drained by the Ganga and its major tributaries Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi and Son. The lower Ganga plains are located near West Bengal. These plains are very flat. The river bifurcates here. The channel that flows southwards is now known as the Hooghly River, while the main channel that flows into Bangladesh is known as Padma. The Padma finally joins the Brahmaputra River.
So you have
Collectively, these rivers form the world's largest delta, which is covered by thick mangrove forests called the Sundarbans.
So you have learned the three parts of the Ganga, that is higher, middle and lower range. So whatever the details are there, that you please remember, okay?
The Brahmaputra plains lie to the far east of India. The river Brahmaputra originates near Lake Mansarovar and flows eastwards. Outside India, the river is known as Zangpo. The Brahmaputra enters India through a gap in the eastern Himalayas at a place called Namacha Barwa and then forms the Brahmaputra plains. The eastern Himalayas lie to the north of these plains, and the Garo and Khasi hills lie to the south. The Naga hills border it on the east, while the Ganga plains form its western boundary. These plains are formed by the sediments brought by the Brahmaputra river and its tributaries, which often flood during the monsoon season. On reaching Bangladesh, it forms a delta along with river Ganga before draining into the Bay of Bengal. The fertile plains formed by these three rivers occupy just 1/5 of the area of South Asia but support nearly half its population.
Okay, so the Brahmaputra river is also a lifeline to the northeast part of our country, and you have learned all the details. If any confusion, you can ask me. Otherwise, just revise this topic, okay? Because in the next, we are going for the quiz session in this video, and then we will go for the further more details of this chapter, okay, students? So for this video session, this much only. You please read this all things from your book also for understanding it in a more proper level, okay, students? Now, thank you.